Who and what types of people is God sending into his vineyard now? How is God resourcing his people and his work in Africa today? In Burundi, church leaders are being mobilized for poverty eradication through Farming God's Way. Through seminars with church leaders and pastors, awareness is being raised about mission as task groups are in the respective churches. There are more than 500 small groups in different churches and denominations, meeting once a week for 2 hours Bible study and outreaches in their local communities towards the development of their members and communities. Currently, there are 4 centers where local leaders are being trained on evangelism and mission. This is to prepare them for further mission training. Pastor Didier is one of our regional lead trainers from the rainforest. He leads a team of over 80 leaders who train and preach the gospel in his area. They started hundreds of village churches in the Mahanoro area. Pastor Didier's ministry began with community Bible study CBS groups, and many people are attending CBS groups in the surrounding villages. Already, 60 growing churches started last year. Many people are excited to attend Discovery Bible Study DBS groups to study the Bible, and they love to worship and pray for the sick and needy. Louise is 55 years old. She lives in Ambudimanga 2, Majankadriana in the Mahanoro Rainforest District. Louise has 3 sons and a daughter. She supports her family and makes a living by making palm oil. She was so burnt while making the oil that her whole body was swollen. Her flesh had fallen off and we could see even her bones. Only her head and hands were left untouched. The wound was so bad that she had to live in a separate room and the pain lasted for a year. Pastor Didier prayed for Louise and her wounds healed. The Discovery Bible Study group was amazed to see God's absolute miracle for her at work, because in 3 months she was whole again, and as an entrepreneur she could do a business and get a loan. Her business is up and running again and she can support her family and the community can buy her oil. Louise's entire family accepted Jesus and her Bible study group grew to over 20 members and became a church, and they held worship services every Sunday. This transformed the community and the ministry grew as thousands of people turned to Jesus from oppression and darkness to light and victory. African Children in Missions Network. Several online and on-site meetings have taken place since 2020 to mobilize children, families and children ministry leaders to be part of Manning CIMN Vision. In September 2020, we participated in the 10 days of global prayer with African children from different regions, taking turns to pray in English, French, Portuguese and some other local languages. We were encouraged by the testimonies that followed as these children began to take interest in praying for UPGs. We started the Global Day of Children Praying for UPGs last year on June 19. There were several groups of children and families praying for the unreached people groups, online and on-site at different locations around the world. We had children from more than 25 countries within and outside Africa participate. We also received very encouraging testimonies. African Women in Missions Network. Several online and on-site meetings have taken place since 2020 to mobilize women to be part of the Mani AWIMN Vision. Several prayer meetings are held weekly by women to pray for ministry among UPGs and Mani AWIMN operations and leaders. We have an opportunity to pray together and mobilize women of African descent globally to be involved in our mobilization to raise at least 1,000 women who will be part of She Prays, She Funds and She Goes that is targeted at ministry to the remaining approximately 1,000 UPGs in Africa. It is awesome how the Almighty God is providing for his servants and his work in Africa. He is forever the good shepherd, meeting every need of his people. A very small church in poor areas in Muyinga, Burundi, called Ngomo Baptist Church, was able to send a missionary to South Sudan in Maban, working with refugees. Motivated in their hearts but sharing from their average low income of around $10 per month, the church took the risk of sending the young man. Currently, more youth are encouraged and motivated to join the School of Mission. In Nigeria, a cross-cultural missions training school shared in the organization's daily praise and prayer bulletin the need for sponsoring a trainee missionary with 68,000 naira as school fees for a session. A lady partner of that organization was led to adopt a trainee missionary for sponsorship. It was the same day that a 26-year-old graduate of a university decided to answer the call of God for her to proceed to be trained to become a missionary to people of her former religion. Coming from a Muslim background, she gave her life to Christ as an undergraduate and was rejected and abandoned by her parents. However, the Christian community in the university encouraged and supported her training. She completed the compulsory National Youth Service and started working in the university. The Lord had prepared a means for her training just as she stepped out in faith. The sponsor deposited enough amount to cover the school fees at the School of Missions plus extra for her upkeep for at least 3 months. When she arrived the organization's headquarters to proceed to the location of the school the next day, she had only her clothing and other personal effects because she had left in haste in order not to succumb to the pressure that followed her resignation from her working place. Besides, she didn't get the school's prospectus to know what to come with to the school. The wife of the head of the organization, herself a missionary housewife, had to assemble cooking utensils, plates, cutleries, cooking spoons, kettle, a camp gas cylinder filled with gas and a burner head, etc. plus some foodstuff that can take her through a few days before she could shop for what to eat. So she headed to the school, well provisioned by the Lord. The Lord had gone ahead to prepare her up to the time she would complete her training and get deployed in the mission field, by which time an indigenous mission support group has programmed her to replace a single missionary who is transitioning out of their mission support scheme, with even an increase in the amount of the support available for her. The Lord of the harvest still provides for his obedient children who forsake all to follow him.